everyone to the third episode of the Mindful Minute podcast series. The first episode was a cheesy introduction to the topic, which might or might not be still available, depends on how I feel. And in the second episode, we had a quick intro talking about this channel, what I'm trying to achieve, both on the channel level and personal level. And we had an introduction to the topic of mindfulness. And today, we're going to continue doing so. And in this series, basically, if you haven't watched the previous episode, what happens is we bring the topic of mindfulness and try to dive in and get some information that can benefit me and you guys. And then after the topic is done, we can then jump into another topic, read about it, try to experience it. Can I say the word? Try to experience it, and then come and talk to you guys about it. And hopefully one day I can hear from you as well, whether that's in comments or as feedback from you guys in the podcast itself. And yeah, enough with this intro. We'll dive in. So I hope you're all doing okay. Hopefully, if you've listened to the previous episode, hopefully you have done some mindfulness activities that we talked about, and I'll be really intrigued to figure out how did it go for you, because I know how it went for me, and I think it's working. I don't think it's hocus pocus as I thought it was. What I did was, at the beginning of every day, I would sit outside and open YouTube, search for 5 minute mindfulness session, and then this lady comes in with the background music, soft music, and then tells me to breathe and inhale and exhale and be present and stuff like that, which was helpful. I don't know if it improved my day because I was mindful of everything around me and these things, but I felt that it brought some order to my life a little bit. Especially if you do it like every day. So okay, first thing I do when I wake up, I'm gonna have my water, and then I sit next to the window and do that, and keeping that consistent, keep doing that consistently brings order to my day. For example, I started doing other things in a consistent manner as well. Also, in terms of reducing stress, which is the main topic of today's episode, I think as a person, bringing order to my life reduces stress. If I have things planned out, if I have everything clear in my head, if I breathe, take a moment, and be mindful, that reduces my stress levels. And that's the main focus in today's episode. So we will be diving deeper into the topic of mindfulness and exploring its benefits for stress reduction, especially in today's day and age. Stress has become an increasingly common part of our lives, and mindfulness apparently offers valuable tools to help us navigate these challenges. So let's get started. And again, I'm not a experienced person about mindfulness or anything. The only reason I'm doing this is I'm reading stuff, and then I'm experiencing them, and then I'm relaying that information to you guys, and then hopefully both of us can benefit from it. So if you missed the last episode, what is mindfulness, you may ask? So mindfulness is a practice that allows us to be fully present in the moment without any judgment about what is going around our lives. So it involves cultivating awareness of our thoughts, your feelings, sensations, developing a non-reactive and accepting attitude towards them. So you analyze what's going on, you say what's going on around your life, without judging yourself or trying to bring either fault or praise to yourself. We're just accepting it. And by doing so, we can create a sense of calm and inner peace. One of the remarkable benefits of mindfulness that has been talked about is the ability to reduce or to help reduce stress. So when we are stressed, our bodies and minds go to or goes into an overdrive, which can lead to various physical and mental health issues. However, mindfulness provides us with a way to step back and respond to stress more effectively. And by practicing mindfulness, I'm a bit ill, so I'll try to pronounce my words correctly. By practicing mindfulness, we become more aware of our stress triggers and our body's stress responses. By that, we learn to recognize the signs of stress and can choose how we respond instead of reacting impulsively. Especially if you're someone who experiences body panics and stuff like that. So this can help you a lot in this case. It also practicing mindfulness would help you develop a sense of resilience and empowers us to make conscious choices in challenging situations. Because at the end, you're practicing staying calm and you're practicing staying calm by doing certain things such as breathing and stuff like that we'll get into in the future episodes as well. But again, the main idea is how to control yourself, which would allow you to make those decisions without any bias from your feelings or the stress that you're feeling or some other external things that you might be experiencing. And another way mindfulness helps reduce stress is by bringing our attention to the present moment. You might know that stress often arises from dwelling on the past or something, or worrying about something that might happen in the future, which is something that myself and I'm sure lots of you guys always fall in. We try to judge ourselves on our previous mistakes, excuse me, or we worry about something that might or might not happen in the future. Now, judging ourselves on our previous mistakes is completely different from learning from our previous mistakes. You can analyze what went wrong and how you can improve it. However, if you judge yourself negatively or even positively, it might go in a bad way. So instead of thinking about the past or worrying about the future, mindfulness would help us to focus on here and now, and thus we free ourselves from those burdens and find a sense of relief and peace in ourselves. Also, there are some practical mindfulness techniques that can be incorporated into our daily lives. One simple yet powerful practice is mindful breathing, which I have been doing. So taking a few moments to focus on your breath and then feeling the inhales and exhales can instantly calm our nervous system and brings us back to the present moment. One way of doing that, I'll have to give you a quick tip. There is this very famous neuroscientist, I'm sorry I can't remember his name, but I'm sure you already know who I'm talking about, talked about this technique of breathing that I found very, very helpful. For some reason it works, I'm not sure why. I think his name is Huberman or something like that. He's very famous. If you search into YouTube, the famous neuroscientist, I think he's the first person that you'll find. Where that you take a deep breath, and then when you feel that you have reached your maximum intake, you then take a little bit more. So take as much as you can, stop, don't exhale, take a little bit more, then exhale. That really works to calm yourself if you're feeling anxious or worried. Which really works for me in certain situations. So that's something that you can search as well. Also, we have other types of meditation. So we have body scan meditation is another effective technique. By systematically bringing our attention to different parts of our body, we become aware of any tensions or discomforts. And then with mindfulness, we can release those physical sensations and promote relaxations. So part of the videos that I've been following during these morning routines that I've been doing is you would like grip your hand a bit tighter and then release it, a bit tighter and release it. Same thing with your foot, just to make sure that you're connected with your body rather than just everything being loose. That's something else that I've found people talking about. Additionally, mindfulness can be practiced in daily activities, whether that's eating, walking, or even doing household chores. We can bring our full attention to the task at hand, engaging our senses and savoring each moment. These activities become become opportunities for mindfulness and stress reduction. I haven't reached that level yet. Maybe you guys have. Let me know in the comments. But what I'm trying to do basically is appreciate every moment that I'm having more. So when having dinner with my fiance, rather than watching something, we just talk, and then appreciate the food. I'm doing this thing where we're eating our food just to make sure we're actually tasting it rather than just digesting it, basically. So I'm trying to live every moment as much as possible. I was very reliant on watching YouTube while eating, or I can't just stay still. I have to do something while doing something, which makes you appreciate neither of the things that you're doing. So that's something else that you can do. So in your daily activities, make sure that you are appreciating the moment that you're currently in. Also, you can what was I talking about? Totally forgot. Sorry, I've been thinking about my fiance now. So we can bring our full attention to the task at hand, engaging our senses and savoring each moment. Then these activities become opportunities for mindfulness and stress reduction. Also, incorporating mindfulness into our lives takes practice and commitment. That's what I wanted to talk about. It's not an easy thing to do. I haven't reached this place yet, to be honest. I would say I'm appreciating every moment a little bit more, but it's not a state of mindfulness yet. So therefore, the more we engage in regular mindfulness practice, the more we can experience its benefits in reducing stress and promoting overall well-being. As everything else, this podcast, if you watch my first episode, which is the cheesy introduction, the only reason I'm keeping it is to come back to it in the future and see, look how much you have improved. And I feel I've improved a lot already from my previous episode to this one. And I believe that in the next few episodes as well, I will keep on improving, which was one of the goals why I started the podcast. Anywho, that was what I had basically for today's episode. So try to incorporate mindfulness into your lives, and hopefully it helps you. You can see its benefits in reducing stress and promoting overall well-being. And I really hope it helps. And I really hope this short podcast gave you some information or motivated you to start practicing mindfulness. One important tip that I would give you if you decided to start practicing these things is don't go into it with a negative thought, which I did at the beginning. I was like, what's mindfulness? Let's just get on with the day and, get things done. But once I removed that thought from my head, I started seeing its benefits. So give it a fair chance. Always, that's all what I'm asking, to try and experience its benefits. It might work for you, it might not work. We're not all the same. Or it might work for you at certain levels more than others or less than others. But I think it's worth a try because it can be life-changing. And that's all for today's episode. And I hope you've gained some insights into how mindfulness can help you reduce stress. And as always, remember to take a moment each day to practice mindfulness and embrace the present moment. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to exploring more mindfulness topics in the coming episodes of this series. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.